This is your sign, if you haven't already, to read the entirety of the Bible. You'd be surprised how many Christians that have been in the faith for 5, 10, 15, and 20 years that have never read the entirety of the Bible. Reading the entirety of the scriptures is incredibly important, and let me tell you why. You cannot possibly seek to have a deep and intimate relationship with God without reading the entirety of the scriptures. Because with every part of the scriptures that you don't read, you're missing out on an opportunity to learn about God's character. You're also missing out on an opportunity to see how God interacts with humanity and how we as humans should interact with God. If you really want to know who God is as a person so that you can build up and edify a relationship with him better, you need to read the whole Bible, not just some of it. Because without the whole Bible, you're basically going to have God's character out of context. And as well, if you want to have genuinely good theology, you need to understand the entirety of the scriptures. Because as the saying goes, the New Testament reveals the Old Testament and the Old Testament points to the New Testament. There are so many different interwoven ideas, concepts, and lessons between the Old and the New Testament. And if you want to really understand the scriptures and you want to really understand God, you have to read both the Old and the New Testament. You have to read the entirety of the scriptures. If you want to learn how to truly and earnestly serve God properly and live for him properly, you need to read the entirety of the Bible. And if you want to get much better at hearing God's voice, you truly want to understand what he sounds like, you need to read the entirety of the Bible, not just some of it. And if you want to be able to build a proper defense to your faith, then you need to read all of the Bible, not just some of it. There's no good reason for us as Christians who are supposed to consume the word of God day and night to not have read the entirety of the scriptures. We say that we love God, we want to serve him, we want to build up a good relationship with him, but then we refuse to read the entirety of the book that he gave to guide us. That doesn't make any sense. If you haven't already, here's your sign to read the entirety of the Bible. It's something that's incredibly important that all Christians should do, and it's going to help you so much when it comes to your faith and your relationship with God. So I hope that the Spirit of God speaks to those who he needs to speak to. If you want more content like this, just go to drop a sub or a follow. If you want to hear more teachings from me that are outside of short form content, I want to recommend you join my Bible classes every single Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern on Google Meets.